gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by Robert Gates of the Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You have time now. You do have time. You can go to the barbershop and get the kind of haircut that will see you through this week. If you want an old-fashioned one, he can do that. If you want a present-day one, he will do that. But if you want a haircut of tomorrow, he will do it. There's a sign up in his shop which says, "We make people beautiful." Gates Barbershop, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you that were kind enough to call me last week and tell me how much you enjoyed Dr. Tucker. You told me you want to hear him sing one more time, and we will see if we can get him back on the show to sing and to speak. Thank you, Dr. Tucker, and thank all of you that called. Today's program is a very special program because I'm going to dedicate it to some special people. It's been a long time coming. It's undue. I call these people heroes and sheroes because they are certainly outstanding. And I'm going to dedicate this program today on the 10th day of April, 1999, to the Ushers. You've read a lot about the simultaneous revivals. You read about God's ministers that have come from all over the country to preach and to save a city that certainly needs saving. You have come. You have read about these ministers, but then this is a other part of the story, the ushers. The ushers have been on duty every day. Call it a noonday service. Call it a midnight service. Call it a regular service. The ushers were there, standing tall, standing with smiles and saying to you, "I'll show you a seat." To be an usher, you have to be a special kind of person. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be tolerant. You have to be understanding because sometimes people can be awful dirty. Sometimes when I say dirty, I mean with words. They will tell you off in a minute. But the ushers are well trained, well directed. And today's program is dedicated to the ushers. And what I want you to do, I want to hear these ushers' names called on radio. If you know an usher that has stood there, that has stood with a smile to welcome you to the sanctuary, the temple, the church, I want you to just call that usher's name for me because they are the real heroes. No, they did not make the headlines of today's newspapers. They were not interviewed by television or even by radio, but they stood at the doors, welcoming, waiting, and understanding. And even when we shouted in our churches, the ushers were there with fans fanning us. When the babies cried, the ushers rushed to see what they could do. What a great group of people. Now, the ushers don't get paid, but they stand there knowing that they are doing God's great work. In fact, I heard one usher say, I would rather stand at the door at God's house and do anything else. Well, you ushers ought to be congratulated. Some of you have been ushering for a long, long time. I know your feet get tired, but your souls are rested because you are the ushers and ushers. This Clara Luper's show is dedicated to you, the ushers. The ushers come in all sizes, all colors, and all stands. Ushers, you are somebody special. You are God's gift to all of us. This is the Clara Luper radio show. Hello.
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Good morning.
I would like Sister Marie Wilson's name to be announced on the radio as a good, faithful usher of the St. Paul Baptist Church No. 1, and Reverend Isaac Ziegler is our pastor.
Marie who now?
Wilson.
Mrs. Marie Wilson, thank you so very, very kindly for calling. We're
And
going. We're so proud of our ushers, and this is our program. Thank you so much for calling.
thank you.
Okay, we're talking about ushers standing at the door, waiting. It's been a long, long road, but the ushers have been there. Clara Luper, hello. Yes, if you can't get me, try again, because I want these ushers' names called on the Clara Luper radio show. It is so bizarre time in Oklahoma, and we invite you to help us because we don't have that money to advertise like some other shows, but we have you. We have you. Thank you so very, very kindly today for joining Clara Luper, Calvin, and others in saluting the ushers, our ushers. All those ushers, beautiful ushers in their uniforms. And the uniforms come in all colors. Hello?
Hello,
Yes?
I am Freddie Mae Stevens.
Yes.
I am Freddie Mae Stevens. I am the 93-year-old. I am a member of Avery Chapel AME Church. I'm a Zeta Phi Beta sorority lady. I want to thank the Quail ME Church for being our guest last Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. They brought their choir, and they were there. I was asked to come too. Leonardo, he called me and told me about the choir. It's going to be there. I want you to go just with me. And can they really sing? I commend him for being on time. And his pastor, Ernest Jackson, he can really preach. I want to talk about the young lady that led the first song of the choir. Her name is Eric Thomas. She has a degree in the performance of art from OU. She teaches at Langston University and director of the youth choir at Quail ME Church. And don't forget, I want to talk about the person who is over the choir. That is Leonardo DeBose. He was born here in Oklahoma City, over on the west side. And there were 13 children of them, had 2 girls and 11 boys. But now, 1 girl is living and 10 boys. And this family was all dark skinned. But 1 child, it was light. And that was Leonardo DeBose. His father and mother disowned him. They didn't want him. His father said, "That's not my child. I will not own him." And that until their death, they did not own this child. His daddy died years ago. His mother died only a few years ago. He didn't even know just when his mother died, because the father had to bring that and told them, "That is not my child," and they believed that until their death. Leonardo's skin, of course, it was a little brighter, and the rest of the family, they were dark skin. And of course, and in the heart, that goes a long ways. It's not what you have on the outside. It is what you have on the inside. At 1 or 2 years old, this baby, Leonardo, his grandmother, Mrs. DeBose, and his auntie, Mentori, and they took this baby. And from there on, they gave him as much love as they could. Mentori, though, at this time, and she was going to school too. She worked for Miss Bro, Miss Zelia Bro, and collected the rent from the houses. And she was going into school too. And they lived across the street from Archer Park School. Mrs. DeBose, she did not work because she was old, and she didn't move about very much, and she was taking care of this baby. My mother, Anna F. Yates, was a caterer and serving parties in Nickel Hill and everywhere else, and a funeral home on the corner of 10th and Broadway, and they lived out on Northeast and 63rd Street. They gave my mother a goat, a milk goat. My mother loved little children, especially is the well-being of their health. And I told her about this little boy in the kindergarten, of course, that she knew the family too. This little boy, Leonardo, he never played. He always sat because he was very thin. He did not have the energy is to even play. So we consented is to give him is a milk, a gallon of milk a day. My mother would carry the milk over there. They lived across the street from the school, but that didn't matter. She carried it every day. How that child and that goat milk it fared out. He began to act like a child should, and that's the play. We gave that child 5 or 6 years, nothing but goat milk. He told me just since then, he only got one pair of shoes a year. And when that pair, it was, and that pair, all the sole, it would wear out. He would put the pasteboard in the bottom of his shoe. But through the help of mentoring and his friends, don't forget, Oklahoma City, Leonardo, he went to the Dillard University in Louisiana. He got a degree. Oklahoma City, another degree. And his master's degree is from the state and the central state. He taught school in Oklahoma City for many years, and John Marshall, and a counselor. And he even taught the kindergarten. Don't forget that. I want to tell you is this tale about him in my kindergarten. In my room, I had about 30 or 35. Leonardo, every day, he would lie down on his little rug because when they played outdoors, they have to rest. Well, at that time, it was nothing but the safety pins. All the children used the safety pins. I had to help them to unbutton, unclip. So Leonardo, he would watch me. He got up out of the rug, and he slipped out the door. He went home to his grandmother. His grandmother said, "How come you home?" Leonardo said, "School is out. The kindergarten is out." His grandmother said, "There's nobody out but you." She just reached up in the tree and got a whip, a little switch, and whipped him all back into the kindergarten. He tells it now, "I never have gotten a whipping anymore." And I want to tell you something else. You know how boys are. He got a job making more money. He quit school teaching, and all this good job, well, it just didn't work out. So Miss Dabney, the 6th grade teacher and principal, and she put him right back into teaching, and that was in the kindergarten. Now he is married to a beautiful lady from Louisiana, and she has 2 children he has and 2 grandchildren. Her name is Mona DeVoe. She's smart and gifted too. She worked at the Board of Education on the computer. She is retired too. I'm still talking about Leonardo. He sews, he plays the piano, he plays the organ, and when he sews, they break in his house, steal his clothes, he make more, he cooks, and can he sing. But he is a gifted child. Now, he is grown and teaching and making more money. At least that's what he thought. But that's all right, Louis Dabney, and she put him right back in the kindergarten. And when I was 90 years old, he gave, and then Juanita and then Leonardo, they gave me a birthday party at Alberta's. He invited all of those in their 80s and 90s. and even in my doctors out at the hospital, Dr. Clara Robinson and Dr. William Hall, and they were there too, because Juanita had been sick, and they didn't know how I was going here to take this party. But I had a good time. And Clara, and then we
Okay.
and
Okay.
you,
Watch your time now. News reporter,
okay,
watch your time.
okay, invited you too, but you were in Las Vegas. All right. When I was 93 years old, and Alice Moten was 100. He gave a birthday party for us last year, a combined birthday party, because I was 93 and she was 100. What a party it was at. Leonardo, he cooked the soul food. His wife and she
Oh,
cooked his Louisiana food. All right. I know my time is out.
you are
And so
exactly
don't
right.
forget the Soul Bazaar, May the 14th and 15th, downtown at the Merritt Computer Center. And thank you.
And thank you so very kindly. Certainly, we join you in saluting Leonardo DeBose. NACP honored him. And my dad was so proud of Leonardo DeBose. This is the Clara Luper radio show. This part of our show is brought to you by Hometown, located at 2001 Northeast 23rd or 23rd and Martin Luther King. You can shop at Hometowns for 24 hours a day. Today's program is dedicated to the ushers, and we have a beautiful usher. For 40 years, Miss Eulala Davis has ushered at the Marshall Memorial Baptist Church. And her daughter wants the world to know that Mrs. Eulala Davis really has a genuine spirit of an usher. The spirit of love, the spirit of understanding. And if you know an usher, let us call that usher's name today, because we are in the midst of a simultaneous revival, which will be ending tomorrow at the St. John's Baptist Church. And the ushers have been there. We salute our ushers. We love our ushers. They are the ones that take care of ushering business. This portion of our program is brought to you by Soul Bazaar 99. You are invited, and we would like for you to serve as one of our announcers. We would like for you to announce to all of your friends that the Soul Bazaar will be May 14th and 15th. The tickets are only $2, and you may pick up your tickets at Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King, or Gates Barbershop. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and we are talking about ushers. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Sister Luper.
Oh, I'm fine today.
Praise God. This is Evangelist Blasingale.
Yes.
And we have three dynamic, faithful ushers at our church. And they are Sister Tucker, Sister Pearlie Tucker,
Pearlie Tucker,
and Sister Bessie Brown,
Bessie Brown.
and Sister Stephanie Sneed.
What church are we talking about now?
We're talking about the Great Sunny Lane Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay, and you have three ushers down there.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get the last name. I have Pearlie Tucker, Bessie Brown,
And Stephanie Sneed.
Stephanie Sneed. We would like to salute them. And thank you so very
Thank you.
kindly. This is the Clara Luper Radio show, and I'm saluting the ushers today, the unsung heroes. Yes, the simultaneous revival has been great this week. We've heard the gospel. The gospel has been preached. Yes, the gospel has been preached. But standing at the doors of our church have been the unsung heroes of the revival movement, the ushers. The ushers stood during the morning services, during the evening service, during midday services, and during night service. Special midnight service, or late night service. The ushers were there. And I would like for you to call so the world can know the names of those ushers. Just think. Some have been ushers for 40 years, some 50, some 30. It doesn't make any difference how long. All I want to do today is to salute the ushers and let the ushers know how much we love them. Clara Luper, and you may call me at 672-1220. Yes, the ushers have their little usher days, which are really big days for them. Ushers have their day, but today is our day to salute the ushers, and we salute you. Calvin, do we have someone on the telephone? Yes, we have Onita Brown from Wildwood Baptist Church, an usher, and does she love it? Onita Brown from Wildwood Baptist Church. Hello?
Hello,
Yes,
this is Dimple Davis.
yes.
I'm an usher at Fairview Baptist Church, and I've been with the ushers since 1942.
1942.
Yes, when the citywide ushers were organized. I've been with them, and I'm still an active usher.
You mean to tell me you've been an usher for 57 years?
Yes,
For
I've
57
been an
years.
usher in Oklahoma City for 57 years.
You talk like you was an usher somewhere else.
Yes.
Where?
I came to Oklahoma City from Austin, Texas,
And you were an
where I
usher?
was an usher there.
You were an usher, Mrs. Davis, in Austin, Texas?
Yes,
For how many years?
I was usher for 10 years in Austin, Texas before coming to Oklahoma City.
And you came to Oklahoma City and joined Fairview Baptist Church and became an usher.
Well, I was a member at Calvary Baptist Church for 8 years before going to Fairview.
And you were an usher at Calvary Baptist Church?
Yes,
Well, we've got to keep up with you because we're going to do something special for the usher that we can find in Oklahoma City that's been an usher for the longest length of time. Now, you have been an usher for 57 years. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. Well, we want you to give Calvin your name and your address and your telephone number, and we got to do something special for you. I wonder if anyone else in Oklahoma City has been an usher longer than 57 years. That's really something. 57 years. You're talking about over 3,000 Sundays. I'm not talking about those special occasions. And you've been ushering this year, too. This during the simultaneous revival. Mrs. Davis? Oh, well, anyway, Mrs. Davis, can you imagine that? Unsung heroes. So much love, so much tenderness, so much understanding. This portion of our program is brought to you by Dr. A.L. Dial. Dr. Dial has furnished glasses for many of our ushers in Oklahoma City and the surrounding areas. Dr. A.L. Dial is located at 934 Northeast 8th Street in Oklahoma City. You will have to call him for an appointment, 235-0536. Clara Luper?
Yes.
Yes.
I would like to congratulate all the ushers at 5th Street Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay, who are some of the ushers?
Anna Slaughter.
Anna Slaughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very faithful.
Al Bullock.
Al Bullock?
Yes, ma'am.
That outstanding bus driver?
Yes.
And a deacon, okay.
Uh-huh.
Now,
That-
you say to all of the ushers, you've only given me 2. Give me some more ushers.
Okay. Mr. Richardson.
Mr. Richardson?
Yes.
Yes.
Miss Banks.
Miss Banks?
Al Bullock's wife.
Mrs. Al Bullock?
Yes.
Okay.
That's, let me see.
And who am I talking to?
Wendell Torrance.
Wendell Torrance, thank you so very kindly for calling, saluting the ushers of your church. You've saluted the Bullocks, the Richardson, the Banks, and Anna Slaughter. Thank you so very kindly.
You're welcome.
This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is dedicated to the unsung heroes of our churches, the ushers. There they are. They even have to buy their own uniforms. What difference does it make with them? They are there, well dressed. And one thing about an usher has to be on time. This portion of our program is brought to you by Johnson Sardinas, located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City, and 1211 North Martin Luther King in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Johnson Sardinas, where your child gets that special care, tender loving care, 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Hello?
Luper,
Yes.
how are you? My name is Bobby Greer.
Yes.
Okay, I hear you saluting the Usher State.
You're exactly right.
Well, Pleasant Ridge Baptist Church in Jones, Oklahoma, have an usher there. She started when the church first originated in 42. She's 92 years old, and she's still ushering.
Wait a minute now. Just a minute now. Just a
I know
minute
you ain't
now.
gonna believe it.
Just a minute. You have a 92-year-old usher.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is her name?
Rose Brazil.
Rose what?
Brazil.
Brazil.
Brazilla, I believe it is.
You mean to tell me that she's 92 years old and still ushering?
You have to see it for yourself.
Well,
It's
I'm going
the
to sure
truth.
see it. Where's Pleasant Ridge Baptist Church
It's
located?
right off of Memorial Road on Pleasant Ridge Road. You have to come way far east over
Okay.
in Jones.
Okay.
And you come straight out Memorial Road until you get to Ridge Road, which is a long ways.
Okay.
And then you turn down, you can't turn but one way on Ridge Road. And you come way down to the end and make a right at that corner, and our little church is sitting right there.
Well, I love little churches because, you know, I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma.
Well, it's a small church,
Well, that's
but we
good.
are a happy family and we love one another.
Who's your pastor?
Reverend Henry Hanna. It used to be Reverend Willie Boone, but he's been passed away for the last 6 or 7 years.
Okay, now, wait a minute. I want to get this straight now.
Okay.
You're telling me that you have a 92-year-old usher.
Yes, ma'am.
Does she stand on her feet at the...
Better than I do. She is she is just something to admire and be amazing. You know, to sit and look at her, the way she gets around, the way she still got her mind together. I mean, it's just a miracle, you know, just God's work.
Well, we would certainly like to salute her, and we got to do something for her. Calvin, aren't you excited?
Yes, ma'am.
92
I
years
love her.
old. Well, I wonder how long has she been an usher?
Ever since the church started in 1942.
That's 57 years,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
For 57 years.
And she's still at a little whippersnapper.
Little whippersnapper. Well, I've got to meet her.
That's what I call it. She
You
ushers.
tell her that I want to meet her. Anybody that's been ushering for 57 years.
Yes,
Thank you so
ma'am.
very kindly.
And she ushers at all funerals, at funeral homes, different churches. She's very active in our church. And she's just active, period.
Well, thank you so very kindly for giving us that information. And that's what the world needs.
Uh-huh.
We need something of hope. Here's a 92-year-old usher.
Yes, ma'am.
I salute you.
You really have to see it to believe it.
Well, I'm going to see that usher. Thank you so very kindly for calling.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yes, Calvin.
Yes, Mom, I wanted to say good morning to you and to our outstanding listening audience, and I'm just enthused about you celebrating the ushers of the different churches and the different denominations here in our great city and our great state. But as we were getting the calls in, I got to thinking about the youth ushering programs that be going on, and then the different functions that the ushers have to do during the course of church services on first Sundays, on every Sunday. I know at some churches they're in charge of the taping, and other churches, they're in charge of getting the minister's robe out, making sure that the water is right, and all the different things that happen. But then I want to add my congratulations to the ushers from Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. I'm talking about Josephine Johnson, Juanita Woods, Shirley Brady, Lester Johnson, just to name 4 of the ushers over there at the Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. Dedicated people. They do have that smile on their face when you first enter any church here. And then they also, I think another function that an usher has is also to sort of be a disciplinarian and a nurse and a doctor there for the audience too. An usher's job is, it just seems like so many things they have to be able to do.
Thank you, Calvin. And we do have someone else on the line. Hello? Hello? Well, anyway, if you can't... Hello?
Miss Luper?
Yes?
Yes, thank you. This is Rose Tucker, and I wanted to give a praise God to the Urshers also, in particular my sister-in-law, who's been my sister-in-law about 45 years, been a member of St. John Missionary Pastor W.K. Jackson. She's been an Ursher about that long.
About how many years?
In the 40s. I'm not sure if it's 42, 44. But she has been a very quiet, dutiful person to her post, and I admire her for it. I know she ushers at least 3 Sundays out of the month.
About how old is she?
She'll probably kill me, but she's 62.
Oh, isn't that
she's
wonderful?
been a member, she and my brother, he's the bus ministry service. They've been a member of St. John for about 45 years.
That is really wonderful.
It is, and I admire her so for it. She's very dutiful to her post. And also, I'd want to give a shout-out for my ushers over at my little church, Monument of Faith. where the elder Craven McFadden is the pastor. And our junior usher board, we thank God for them. We don't have a large one.
I want the names. The names.
That's it. Pardon?
Okay, I want the names of
Sister
those.
Ella Rendy and Sister Thelma McFadden.
Wonderful,
Yes,
wonderful.
and we appreciate them so much. They're on their post at our church.
Well, thank you so very kindly. Thank you for calling.
Uh-huh.
Certainly, the ushers are to be saluted because
Yes.
at funerals, they are there with clinics, with an arm to help and to lean on. I would like to salute you, ushers, wherever you are, and may God continue to bless and to keep you.
Mom, maybe we can get an usher to call in and sort of tell us and share with us why they would even want to be an usher. You know, most of us go to church on Sundays and we run to our pews, our favorite pews, and sit there and enjoy the service and pat our feet to the outstanding choirs. But then the ushers, I don't know if they have a chance to celebrate these services the same way we do. And why would a person want to work 6 days, 5.5 days a week, and then come to church and decide then to work there in the church too as an usher? That really seems like a different motivation. But I'd like to hear one of the ushers call in from any church and just sort of explain to us and share with us why you would want to be or why you are an usher, and especially some of these ushers that have been ushering 40, 50 years. Can you imagine?
5 years.
Or 5
no,
years,
I cannot
any
imagine
years.
that, but I can imagine you going to Leo's Barbecue, 3631 North Kelly, getting you some barbecue. It is a place where you can eat your cake and have it too. 3631 North Kelly, Leo's Barbecue, the best barbecue in town. Clara Luper, hello.
This is Brother Gates.
Yes, Brother Gates.
Brother Gates.
Brother Gates. All right.
That's Deacon Gates.
Okay.
That's the Usher Gates.
Yeah, I called to talk about our ushers.
Okay.
Our president of our usher board is Sister Marion Ewing, and top they have a wonderful, wonderful staff of ushers, both youth and senior ushers.
Well, you just named one. Name some more of them.
Well, there's so many. I can name a lot of them. There's Brother Miller, Brother Adair, Sister. Let's see.
Yes.
It's just too many to name.
It's too many to name. We've been trying to get
Now listen, if I start calling names and miss one, you know how that would be. So I'll just say they're on the staff of Sister Marion Ewing. She has a host of ushers, men and women. And Brother Adair is over the youth department.
Okay, when you say Mrs. Ewing, are you talking about one of our tabulators for Miss Black, Oklahoma?
Mrs. Marion Ewing?
Yes.
That's her.
Wonderful. And ushers. About how many ushers do you have out to your church? And you didn't tell us the name of your church.
I'm from Tabitha Baptist Church. We have about a staff of, I'd say, 40.
40 ushers.
Yeah.
Well, you tell those ushers how much we love them and how much we appreciate them. And thank you so very kindly for
sure
calling.
will.
Thank you so very kindly for calling. Okay, we got him,
We got it. We finally got that report in. We didn't get the report on what the minister's, what was that? His,
I'm not going to say anything
well, we
because
missed that
that's
report,
my
but we
job.
did find out about the ushers. And, Mom, you know, I'm serious, and I wish one of the ushers out there that are listening would call and share with us as to why that they would be willing to work as an usher on Sundays and come back on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever they have to. But to be an usher at any church
you buy
now,
your own uniform. You
have
go
badges
to
and stuff to do.
all of that. I don't know about that, but I do know that an usher's job is a great responsibility. Calvin, why haven't you been an usher?
Well, Mom, primarily because I don't think I've reached that inspirational part yet where that I would, make it there to church every Sunday on time, probably early, and then stand all during the services, and then I wouldn't know how to react.
They have a seat on the back where you can sit.
And then too, I wouldn't know how to react in case someone was to get full of the Holy Spirit, and I've seen
you don't know. You wouldn't know how to hold somebody if they start shouting.
I don't think I'd volunteer. I've seen some pretty excitable people, and I don't think I'd want to be the one holding them. But the ushering, that's what I want to know now. Is my heart right now doesn't say be an usher because there's so many different things entailed in it, and I don't think that I'm ready. You know, you have to be ready for certain things. That's like asking you, why aren't you preaching? You know, you have to be ready for it, and
No, God has to call people
God
to
has to
preach.
call people to
But
preach. Does He
maybe
call them
God
to
calls
usher
them to
too?
be an usher. Can we have someone on the line? Hello?
Well, we're working on that, Mom. You know, we want to invite everyone to call in with their
Six
favorite.
seven two 1220.
672-1220. You got it right, and I did. You can also call on Star Somebody, star 5577.
Well, I know the ushers are something. You have to be a good Christian to be an usher. That's one thing you have to be. Okay, Miss Shelley is on the line. I've been waiting for this call. Mrs. Shelley, who is a teacher at Douglas High School. Mrs. Shelley.
Good morning, Mrs. Luper.
Good morning, and how are you this beautiful morning?
Oh, I'm just wonderful, and it is such an honor to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Well, you've honored me today by being on my show. I understand that you teach at Douglas High School in Oklahoma City.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's that school located?
We're at 10th and Martin Luther King.
Okay, now you are having an exciting program. Tell me all about it.
Yes, ma'am. This is our third year to have our dance show. We call it Rhythms of the Night. And
Rhythms of what?
Rhythms of the Night.
Rhythms of the Night?
Dance program.
Okay.
It is our spring recital of what the students have learned all year. And your audience will be so surprised at the beautiful, beautiful lyrical dances of all kinds that our students are going to perform.
Now, when will this be?
This will be Thursday evening, April 15th at 7 p.m.
There in the auditorium?
Yes, ma'am.
About how many young people will be involved in this program?
About 140 students.
Just a minute, Miss Kelly. Now, you're going to tell me that you have 140 students at Douglas High School involved in Rhythm at Night?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you're to be complimented.
There will also, well, I didn't do it by myself. Let me tell you that this year we have highlighted two professional choreographers. One is world-renowned. Her name is Kee Cha. She has performed on videos in London and Canada and Los Angeles and Chicago. She has choreographed for Janet Jackson. These are the caliber of people that we have brought in to help us out. Our other choreographer featured in this program will be our Miss Black America, Miss Bashira Ahmad. She has also been there as a role model and mentor to many of our students. And we want to make sure that she also is mentioned on your program. We have our traditional African dances that Miss Ahmad has helped us with.
African dances?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Broadway shows with the swing number from Sing, 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 where the children are actually doing the old swing. We have lyrical numbers that involve Bridge Over Troubled Waters. And Miss Luper, I hope you can make it because we're going to have a Motown review of which we have our own students doing renditions of the Temptations to Stevie Wonder to the Supremes. Your listeners will be very entertained, very surprised at the caliber of talent that we will be highlighting.
Okay, how much do we have to pay to get in?
$3. Isn't that wonderful?
$3?
Yes.
Oh, sure. You just give me some tickets. I can bring some of my friends for $3.
For $3, they'll see over 900 costumes and a lighting show, and we look forward also to performing at your Soul Bazaar.
Oh, yes, I'm really excited about that. I wouldn't miss that for nothing, Mrs. Shelley. And would you tell your principal, Dr. Cole, I say hello?
I sure will, and thanks to her, we're able to have a program. Nothing gets done without the support of our administration.
Okay, how about the other teachers?
Our other teachers involved in our costumes are Miss Weary, Miss Sheila Weary, Miss Mary Brown is running our lights. It involves so many staff members.
Well, I understand that Mrs. Mary Brown is your teacher of the year.
That's correct. We
Well,
all work together.
okay, well,
And they really mean it when they say we are family at Douglas High School.
well, thank you so very, very kindly.
And thank you.
Mrs. Shelley, thank you, and you keep on working, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm waiting on my fantastic reporter to call. Calvin, where are we now?
Mom, we are right here in Oklahoma City, one of the best cities in the nation, where the cost of living is just right, where the gas prices are just right, where you can find the best churches in Oklahoma, the best churches in the nation, and some of the smilingest and happiest people in the nation right here in Oklahoma City. So not only do you get a chance to listen to the radio show, the Clara Luper radio show, the best show in the nation, but you tune into the best radio station in the area, and that's 1220 AM dial. And we want you to call out here and be a part of our usher program, where we're talking about the ushers that participate in Sunday services, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, you name it, whatever they want, whatever the church asks them to do. There's an usher that will be there. We want to hear about your usher, and we're still looking for an usher to call us and to share with us why they would want to be an usher. But Mom, we have on the line a young lady that we talk about often on the radio show here, and she has an office at 730 West Britton Road.
Okay,
and,
well, we want to hear from that
I
young
hope
lady.
she's here, and maybe she will tell us. Well, no, let's just go ahead and introduce her. A dear friend of mine, a beautiful young lady, and a sister. My oldest sister, but she's still one of the favorite sisters.
You better not say that because Shelley's
But
in
Merlin
Kansas City.
Hildred, welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show, and we're so happy to have you with us this beautiful Saturday morning.
Good morning, Calvin. Good morning, Mrs. Luper.
Good morning.
And my hat's off to all the ushers in this state, because those ushers are something else. My hat goes off to them. But the reason I'm calling your radio show this morning is I want you to know that I am looking for the best and brightest young people between the grades of the 9th and 12th grades for the AXO competition. The AXO competition is sponsored by the NAACP, which is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It is the Academic Olympics of the Mind. Young people may participate in 25 categories. Categories from the humanities to writing, poetry, essays, sciences. The list just goes on and on. Young people, we're always talking about our young people, what they're not doing. I'm not looking for the 4-point students. I'm looking for young people that want to do and compete in the AXO competition. I have sent information out to all the public schools, all the private schools here in Oklahoma City area, because I want these young people to be able to compete against young people throughout this nation. For years and years, we don't take a vacation. We take the young people to compete in the AXO competition. And last year, we had a winner from the Dale City school system in the field of mathematics. I am encouraging the churches, the schools, the parents. If you have young people that can draw, that can do sculpture, architect, whatever their talents are, I am looking for individual young people that want to do. The local competition will be at the Soul Bazaar, April 14th and 15th. The young people that win the first place prizes during that time will represent the state of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma City NAACP Youth Council at the national competition of the NAACP in New York City. Now, I don't want to hear we don't have any money. We don't have any money. But the God I serve is a wonderful God and is a treasure, so I don't even worry about it. Because if we can save one young person in our community, then all of it is worthwhile.
Thank you so very kindly. Merlin, you didn't tell them how to call you or get in contact with you.
You can call me at 843-0811. That's my office. Or you can call me at my home, 427-8399. And we must encourage our young people to compete. Last year I had over 250 entries for AXO competition, and we came back winners. Winning starts within. If we can encourage our young people to be able to compete, not only will they be able to compete in AXO, but they will be able to compete in life.
Okay, I understand that you are located where?
At 730 West Britain Road.
730 West Britain Road in Oklahoma City, and that telephone number is
843-0811. And if you have young people that can sing, that can dance, that can compete against young people throughout this nation, it's a poor dog that won't wag his own tail. Encourage your children. I'd rather to do it on the front end than to do it on the back end.
Well, thank you so very kindly,
Thank you.
Marilyn. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and this portion of our show is brought to you by Gideon's 300 store, located at 6006 Southwestern in Oklahoma City. Gideon 300 store, where you can get African clothes, African food, African jewelry, name it, and you can get it at Gideon's 300 store, 6006 Southwestern in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. People are calling. They are talking about Freddie Edwards, an usher, graduate of Douglas High School, and an active member of the sit-in movement. This week has been an exciting week. Miss Black Oklahoma, the beautiful Kelly Lambert, state. She spoke in El Reno, Oklahoma this week, and they said she was out of sight. Tulsa, a group of young people will be going to Tulsa to Miss Black Tulsa, which will be held next Saturday night. And I'm calling for all of you that would like to go to Tulsa with us. Let us know. They say they are going to not only win in Tulsa, but they are coming on and win the state. Now, that's what they say, but I'm happy to announce to you that the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant will be held in Oklahoma City the 19th through the 26th.
That's right, Mom. I'm looking forward to that Tulsa pageant because that will be an outstanding pageant. They're going to have to go some to outdo our Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant, but then we'll see next weekend. Right now, we have another caller on the line that we'd like to talk with, and we want to say good morning to you and welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show on this beautiful, outstanding Saturday morning. How are you doing?
Fine.
Good.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter. The Soul Bazaar will be May 14th and 15th. Did you know you can put your beautiful baby in the baby contest? You can join the one-legged race, and there will be exhibits. Tickets are $2 each. Hope to see you there. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter.
And thank you, Coco Thomas, our fantastic reporter. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and this portion of our show is brought to you by Miss Black Oklahoma, and I'm happy to report in some happy people in Oklahoma City. First time in the history of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, Fifth Street Baptist Church has 3 contestants. Miss Black OCU is from Fifth Street Church, Miss Black Rose State, and Miss Black Britain. Go Fifth Street,
go. Fifth Street, go OCU, go Britain.
Go
Rose State.
Rose State.
But, Mom, we have another caller on the line that wants to talk with us. Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Well, good morning, Calvin, and good morning, Ms. Luper.
Well, good morning.
Who are we talking with?
You're talking to Lady Ruth Hunter.
Lady Ruth Hunter, welcome, Mrs. Hunter. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very nicely.
Right.
Very nicely. But I noticed Clara was saying the radio program was brought to you by many other organizations, and I'm telling you this radio program is also brought to you by the Soul Bazaar, which will be on the 14th and 15th, and especially the 14th, which is on Friday. And Friday is the afternoon that I will have my fashion show, and you must come because you're going to see something different, something exciting, and something you've never seen or heard in your life. So if you miss Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Soul Bazaar, you will miss a treat of your life.
Well, thank you. Do you want to salute any of the ushers today?
Well, Clara, you know, we have several ushers at my church.
And that church is?
There's one that I have been working with for several years. And this is the person that I would have to really say was one of our ushers at our church, because I work with her not only as an usher of the church, but I work with her in Sunday school. And as long as I was connected with the Sunday school, she was our secretary, and she was there on time, and then she was an usher.
Okay, now who are you talking about?
I do want to say this is Betty Coleman, really.
Betty Coleman. You're saluting Betty Coleman.
With beg your pardon?
You're saluting Betty Coleman today.
That's right. Now, we have several ushers that were good. But I'm telling you the one that I feel that I am talking about, not someone to call about the others, that's fine, because we do have a lot of wonderful ushers. But with Betty, I worked with Betty through all those units where I have not worked with the others through the units.
Okay, well, thank you so very kind. I'm so happy you are back.
Thank you so very much, and I'll be looking to see them in May on the 14th and 15th at the Soul Bazaar. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Someone has called in. They're saluting Elnora Zachary and Martha Fisher of the Fifth Street Baptist Church. We certainly would like to salute the ushers, the unsung heroes.
Yes, Mom. I had a question that came in, and I'm going to ask you, and maybe you can help me because we still haven't gotten a call from Usher.
I can't answer no questions about ushers.
You don't know nothing about
Usher.
But then, do you know an usher that has gone on to become a minister?
I don't know. I'm not giving out any information, but I'm calling for the ushers today because I feel they are the unsung heroes of our religious agendas.
They definitely are.
These are people that work through the rain, the snow. I don't care what happened. You can count on your ushers being there. Mr. Shortridge, someone has called in concerning Mr. Shortridge, and ladies and gentlemen, here they call this man is Usher of Ushers, Wesley Carmichael.
Now,
they call him the Usher of Ushers, Wesley Carmichael. How long has he been an usher? I don't know, but I do know someone has called in and say he's a usher of ushers. Today we have saluted the ushers, the unsung heroes within and sheroes in our churches. They are the ones that work through the rain, the snow, the storm. They are with us during our marriages, during our funerals. They are there. The simultaneous revivals have been going on all over Oklahoma City, and they have been there. Morning service, evening services, midnight services, they have been there. And even though we didn't call your name, and I think we've gotten over 50 names during the program today, I want you to know that we want to salute you. And Shelley is in Kansas City at a very important all-state meeting, and she says that she would like to join us in saluting the ushers. Calvin, I understand that you have a group, and the name of your singing group is what?
The name of the group, Mom, proudly we're named the We Can't Singers, and we're looking forward to being participants in this year's Soul Bazaar at the Murray Convention Center, May 14th, May 15th. And we are available for special birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, any celebrations that you may have. Members of the group, Berlin Nero, Ellis Hildred, and myself. And this beautiful Saturday morning, we want to send this birthday song out to a young lady that we talked to this week, Carmen Washington. This song goes out to you, and may you have many, many more happy birthdays. Happy birthday, Carmen. Happy birthday, Carmen. Happy birthday, Carmen. And may you have many, many more.
Thank you, Calvin. You are proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. Your name of your group is what?
The We Can't Singers. We
and
will
you're
be
very
at the
honest. How do you get by? I was talking to Mr. and Mrs. Nicholson, and Mr. Nicholson said you tickle him to death. Well, anyway, let me hello.
Well, let him know that we are available.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Wonderful. I want to talk about an outstanding usher at the Redeemed Missionary Baptist Church.
You better hurry and call the name.
Sister Leslie Oak Dillard, an outstanding president, and there are a lot of more other good ushers. But I tell you one thing, you got to have a good leader. First, it starts out with our pastor, but then she's the president over the ushers, and she's an outstanding, faithful lady. Know how to greet you and treat you when you enter the sanctuary.
Well, thank you so very kindly.
God bless you, and you have a great day.
Oh, thank you. Today we are saluting the ushers.
My question still hasn't been answered, Mom.
I don't
Why
know.
would anyone want to be an usher? But we have a call on the line. Maybe the answer will come then. Good morning. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Good morning. My name is Mary Henry, and I'm calling for an outstanding usher at our church, which is Dolores Lane. And she's a very beautiful person.
What is your church?
Church of the Living God.
Okay.
And her name is Dolores Lane, and she's very dependable and a very gracious lady.
Well, thank you so very kindly for calling. Today we have saluted the ushers. Who are the ushers? They are those that are dedicated to seeing to it that you are welcome in various churches. On their faces you can see the real spirit of Christianity. As I look at the clock on the wall, I know it's within 1 minute. I will have to say goodbye to you. But next week I will have one of the most controversial characters in Oklahoma City on this show. This man is so controversial, it's unbelievable. And next week, I want you to be here. Now, we have some questions.
Who is that, Mom?
I'm not going to tell you until next week, but he is controversial. And those of you that will be with me next week, you will never forget it. I know his name starts with a J and the last name, I'm not going to tell you. But next week will be a week. This is Clara Luper saying, whatever you do, you stay out of jail. I'm so sick of you young men around here robbing someone. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. We are sick of you robbing, and we aren't going to take it. This is Clara Luper saying, keep your hands to yourself. Don't steal nothing from nobody. In the meantime, goodbye, and we do love you.